So you need a website to get clients. So you go to Google, you type in how to build a business website, and you are immediately hit with a lot of tech jargon. HTML, CSS, DNS, and tutorials telling you to build a massive site with an SEO, blog, a shop, and complex software right out of the gate. That is the fastest way to get stuck and never actually launch your website. So that is why today we are doing the opposite. We are going to turn this beautiful sketch into a very simple client getting website, and we're going to do it in an afternoon. Now you'll notice that this is just one page. There's no navigation at the top, and that is intentional. I'm Jennie Lakenan. I've built over 150 business websites, and the number one reason that people fail to launch their website is because they overcomplicate the process. So today we are following 3 rules. First, no coding. This has to be very simple to build. 2, it has to cost less than a fancy dinner. And 3, total ownership. We are not building on a platform that limits what you do. We are building on an asset that you actually own with full flexibility to grow it however you want. Let's get to work. To follow that 3rd rule, total ownership, we need to make the right decision right now. Step 1 is to pick a platform. Now, if you Google which website builder is best, you're going to see a million options. So to keep this simple, let's just look at the big 5, which are the most popular website platforms out there, and use the process of elimination to find the best fit for your business. First, we can totally cross off Shopify. Shopify is amazing for selling physical products with complex inventory, but mostly the businesses that are watching my videos are selling services. Next, we can cross off Webflow. Designers really love Webflow, but it does have a pretty big learning curve. We want to launch this website today and not spend 3 weeks learning how to code margins and padding. So that leaves us with these 3: Wix, Squarespace, and WordPress. And this is where we have to make the ownership decision. You can think of platforms like Wix and Squarespace as renting a furnished apartment. It looks nice on day 1. It's easy to move into, but you have a landlord. You can't knock down a wall if you want to expand later. And if the landlord raises the rent, which they do tend to do from time to time, you have no choice but to accept it or leave your stuff behind and go elsewhere. On the other side, you have WordPress. WordPress is more like buying your own house. Yes, it takes a little bit more work to set up, which is what we're going to do together today, but you own it. You have total freedom. It evolves easily with you. I'll give you a quick example. I have a client named Erica who started on Squarespace. It felt easy at first, but eventually she realized that she could not get found easily on Google because she had little control over her site's SEO. And it wasn't just that, she wanted features like audio players for her voiceover samples with analytics so she could see who was pressing play on what, and access to the whole suite of tools that WordPress offers. We're actually moving her to WordPress right now so that she can finally have all of that. For service providers who plan to be in business for the long haul, we don't rent, we buy. We are building our site on WordPress. Your platform decision is made. Step 2 is domain and hosting. Your domain is kind of like a website's street address. It's what people type into the browser to find you. Your hosting is where your website files are stored. Your images, your text, your pages. It's kind of like the land that your website house sits on, so to speak. We need both domain and hosting, and we're going to buy them together in one place just to keep this really simple. So for your domain and hosting, I would recommend SiteGround. It's the best budget-friendly option that I have found. I've had many clients host with SiteGround, and they'll scale with you as your business grows. The link to SiteGround is in the description. So you can head there and then click on WordPress hosting. You'll choose the startup package for $2.99 a month and hit select plan. It's going to ask you for your domain name next. So you will just type in the domain that you want. I am going to type in Jennie Lakenan Coaching as a pretend business. Since I'm a personal brand, I'm just going to use my name. It makes the choice really simple. And then if I change my niche in a year, I don't have to completely change my domain. If you've got a business name that you love, you could use that instead. I would just aim for a .com domain ending because it's just a lot easier to remember than the other alternatives. When you enter your domain, you don't need to enter the .com at the end. It will just remember it for you. Hit continue. SiteGround does give you a year of free domain registration because you're buying hosting from them, so that's great. Go ahead and fill in your account information on this page and then hit pay now. Now, you'll notice in the extra services section that it has a bunch of extra services that you can decide to add on. The only one that I would suggest is domain privacy, because otherwise anyone will be able to see the email that's registered under your domain, which just means you're going to get more spam emails. So I would definitely check domain privacy, but you don't need Site Scanner or Premium Backup. There are free alternatives to those. Domain and hosting are done. The next step is to install WordPress, which will be the structure for your website. After you purchase, they'll prompt you to proceed to your client area, and then you'll log in using the username and password that you set up when you checked out. SiteGround makes installing WordPress really easy. To do it, go ahead and navigate to websites and then choose Finish Site Setup. SiteGround will automatically select the domain that you just purchased, hit continue, and then choose Start New Website. What you want to do is choose WordPress. We do not want to use SiteGround's website builder because we want to own the content. It'll ask you to create a website login, an email, and a password. This is separate from your SiteGround login, so make sure that whatever you enter here, you write it down so that you don't get locked out. Go ahead and enter that and then hit continue. It's going to prompt you to purchase some add-ons. Just choose no thank you, and then choose Finish. Now, SiteGround is going to install WordPress for you. It just takes a couple of minutes. Once that's done, you'll click on Log into the WordPress admin. SiteGround is going to try to walk you through their WordPress setup tutorial, but we're just going to exit the wizard because I'm going to walk you through it in this video. Welcome to your WordPress dashboard. Now, WordPress on its own is just the frame of the house. It's the foundation, the structure. You can see it looks pretty bare bones, but it does hold everything together. Now we just need two more things in order to make this look like a real website. In your WordPress dashboard, go to Appearance and then Themes. Then click Add Theme. And then what we're going to do is we want to use the theme Hello Elementor, which actually is already at the top of this page right here. If you don't see Hello Elementor, you'll just type into your theme search bar for Hello Elementor. You'll hover on it and then hit Install, and then activate. A theme in WordPress is a lot like the walls of your house. It gives more structure to the foundation of WordPress itself. Hello Elementor is the theme that I recommend because it's designed specifically to work with the tool that we're about to install next, which is Elementor, the plugin. And you see it's already prompting me to install Elementor, the plugin, but if you don't see this message, what you'll do to install it is you'll go to Plugins and then Add Plugin. You'll search in the search bar for Elementor. Look for the one that says Elementor Website Builder, and then hit Install Now and Activate. Now, I know that the names sound familiar, but this is different than the theme that we just installed. The theme was kind of like the walls, like we talked about, but a plugin in WordPress adds even more functionality to your site. It's kind of like the apps on your phone let you do more things on your phone. Elementor specifically is a page builder plugin that gives you a drag and drop interface to design everything. It's kind of like the furniture and the decor that goes inside your house. Elementor might try to walk you through a tour or ask you for more information. You can just skip all of that by clicking Skip Setup. It's also going to prompt you to upgrade to their Pro version, which you don't need to do. So just go ahead and click the X in the corner. All right, our tools are installed. Now we can get to actually building something. This is where it gets fun. So for this example, I'm going to build a site for a coaching business so that you can see exactly how this works. Our example today is a coach for entrepreneur moms who want to grow their families without giving up their business. That was definitely me a few years ago when we had my now 4-year-old. It's something I can very much relate to. So in WordPress, to get started, you'll go to Pages, and then you will go to Add Page. We're going to name this Home. And then we're going to choose Edit with Elementor. First thing, let's set up a simple bar at the very top of your page. You're going to do that by clicking the plus icon, choosing Flexbox, and then choose the option that has the arrow on the side. In the container, before we add your logo, go ahead and choose Space Between as the Justify Content setting, and then align items to the center. That makes sure that when we add your logo and your button, that everything is lined up right. To add your logo, choose Add Element. We're going to add an image. It's going to be huge. That's fine. In the left sidebar, click the image, and then go ahead and upload files. Choose Select Files, and then upload your logo from your computer. Once you've got your logo uploaded, go ahead and click and drag here so that it's a little bit smaller. Then add a button by clicking the plus icon, dragging and dropping a button from over here into the header. By default, it'll say click here. All we're going to do is change that text in the sidebar to say schedule now. And then lastly, to finish up your header, you will paste your scheduling link here in the link box. Now your header is done. Now let's build the first real section, your hero. This is the very top of your page, and it just has one job: make the right person stop scrolling and think, this is for me. I'm going to start by adding another flex box. I'm going to make this a 2-column section. In the second column, I'm going to drag in a photo. This is the first thing that your visitor's eye will catch. So use a real photo of yourself, not a stock image. People want to see who they would be working with. I'm going to follow the same process to upload an image from my computer, hit select. In the first column, I'm going to drag in a heading element. I'm going to change its tag to be an H1 because it's the first heading on the page. And then I'm going to type in my headline: grow your family without sacrificing your business. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, Jennie, that headline works for a mom coach, but what about for my business? I've got you. I created a free website copy planner that walks you through this exact one-page layout from your first headline all the way to your final call to action. It's fill in the blank, so all you have to do is answer the writing prompts, and you'll have your website copy ready to paste right into your site. Head to jennielakenan.com/copy planner to get it. I will also drop the link in the description. It just makes this whole process 10 times faster, I promise. Under the headline, we're going to click and drag a text editor block, delete this placeholder text, and then we're going to paste in the text that we drafted in our copy planner. Lastly, we'll add a button. You can click and drag from the sidebar, but I actually prefer to just copy the existing button and paste it here, and then we don't even have to add our link or retitle it or anything. Finally, I'll make just a couple of adjustments to this section so that all the content is aligned the way that I want. I'm going to click on the 6 dots, choose center, link the gap values, and make them 40 pixels. And then lastly, under advanced, we're going to unlink padding and then add a little bit of space to the top and bottom and the sides so that everything is lined up nicely. You can preview what any section looks like by closing this panel here to easily preview the section, and then open it back up again, hit publish, and that is your first section done. Now, the next section. This is the one where the magic happens. This is where you start to name the pain points and the struggles that your ideal client is facing. What frustration brought them to your site? What problems keep them up at night? If you're a mom coach, this might sound something like, you're told that you can either grow your family, have another baby, or grow your business, but you can't do both at the same time. And so you stay stuck kind of in fear and indecision, not moving forward with either one because you're scared of what might go wrong. And to build out the next section, it's almost easier just to duplicate what we did for the first one. So instead of starting from scratch, I'm going to hover over this section and hit duplicate. And then I'm going to open this structure box up here. And this is just kind of like a quick cheat with Elementor. You can actually see both of these containers inside of this container that we've selected. You can see it because it's highlighted. All you have to do is just click and drag that container above the other one, and it's automatically going to reorder them. So it makes life a whole lot easier. You can close that structure tab when you're done with it, but sometimes it's nice to have that when you're trying to move elements around and you can't get them to go exactly where you want. So for this next section, I'm just literally going to edit the existing things that we already put in place. Paste in my heading, edit my text. And here, sometimes what I like to do in this negative stake section is I like to add a list element. So I'm going to just type in list, and then I'm going to drag and drop this icon list onto the page. I like using bullets sometimes on websites because it just makes the text a lot more scannable, and people don't tend to read every word on a website. They tend to scan. I'll delete the first 2 of these list items. Then I'll click on this drop down and I'm going to choose a different icon because I want it to look more substantial. So I'm going to choose the check mark that has it filled in. And then under style, I'm going to make that icon a little bit bigger. Go back to content, open up this toggle, and then paste in the text that you want them to read. So for this mom, she stays stuck in fear. She's not sure how she's going to make another pregnancy work. I'm going to hit copy on this first bullet to add another one, and then a copy again. Paste in my text, and then on the final bullet, I'll paste in the last bullet. Usually just do 3 bullets max. That way it doesn't get overwhelming. We're going to update the image next. Notice I'm putting the image on the opposite side from the hero section. That creates visual balance as someone scrolls down the page. Repeat your call to action button here too. Every section should make it really easy for someone to take the next step. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me click and drag widgets for the next 20 minutes. The mechanics are the same for every section on your site. You drag in a heading, you drag in some text, you add a button, you style it. Once you've built one section, you can build them all. So here's the finished site. At the top, we have our hero section, a clear headline, a real photo, and a call to action button, and then our negative stakes where we named the pane. And then we have a lead generator. This is totally optional, but you can encourage them to get on your email list in this section. A value proposition section where we tell them, here is how we turn this around. Here is how we get you to what you want. A guide section where we introduce ourselves, credentials, why we do what we do, that kind of thing. Testimonials that build trust. A simple 3-step plan so that visitors know exactly how to work with us. And then we end with a final call to action plus a secondary option for people who aren't quite ready to book yet, like a free download or a quiz. One page, one clear message. Every section moves the visitor closer to working with you. And if you would rather skip the blank canvas, I do sell website templates that follow this exact layout. The link is in the description. Your page is built, but before we go live, we need to do one more thing. So we're back in the WordPress editor. This heading looks great on desktop, right? But now look what happens when I click on the mobile icon. Yikes. You see that? The headline is huge. It's completely breaking the design. The spacing is all off. This is what over 60% of your visitors are going to see because that is how much of your traffic comes from phones these days. So if your site looks like this on mobile, it doesn't matter how beautiful the desktop version is. Here is the trick to fix it. Go to the Style tab. If you click this pencil icon, the size option has a mobile phone next to it. That means that we can resize this to be something that's a little bit more practical, like 32 pixels for a headline on mobile. But if we go back to our desktop view, it's not going to affect the desktop layout at all, which is beautiful. That's one thing I love about Elementor when you resize something on mobile. As long as it has that mobile icon next to it, it's not going to affect the desktop layout. So that is how we fix the headlines on mobile, and that is how we fix most of the style settings between mobile and desktop. You're basically building two websites in one, a desktop experience and a mobile experience, and they don't interfere with each other. So go through your site in mobile view, shrink your headlines if needed, tighten up the spacing, make sure that your buttons are easy to tap. Take a few minutes to do this. It's one of the highest impact things that you can do. So mobile is dialed in. Now it's time to launch your website. Before you share this with anyone, I would highly recommend that you read through your site one more time with fresh eyes, read it out loud. You'll catch all the typos that you missed, and you'll hear whether the copy actually sounds like you or sounds like a robot wrote it. Once you're happy with it, then you're live. Your website is on the internet. But the thing is, a website without traffic is just a billboard in the desert. You need a plan to get people to your website and capture those visitors' attention before they click away and forget about you. This video right here walks you through how to do that. I'll see you there.